0, 1. Let's get started.
It's time to go back to the source, Washington's Cascade Mountains, where the Bigfoot filmmakers grew up. If the Patterson film is a hoax, there are 3 witnesses. One, Roger Patterson, is dead. The second, Bob Gimlin, isn't talking. So the question is, what about the guy in the suit? We're here to meet Bob Hieronymus, who as a young man used to ride with Patterson and Gimlin. Bob claims that back in '67, he was the guy who strode across Bluff Creek in Patterson's Bigfoot suit. Around here, there are a lot of people who will back Bob's story up. And, well, there's that walk.
People say I walk like Bigfoot anyway.
To his friends, Bob's Bigfoot role is old news.
I've heard a lot of people say, can you believe that old Bob was really Bigfoot? That was a lot of people say that,
Bob says his secret wasn't much of a secret around here.
My big concern always was that somebody's going to shoot you,
That was my big concern wearing the suit.
That was my big concern all the time.
Everybody around here, after a few years knew that was me.
Oh yeah. We knew it.
We all just everybody just kept it quiet.
According to Bob, Roger Patterson approached him in the fall of 1967 with an offer that was too good to pass up.
He wanted a pretty good sized guy, somebody that they could trust to wear this Bigfoot suit. They said, we'll pay you $1,000 and it'll only take about 10 minutes. So I was 26 years old at the time. I jumped on it,
After a trial run in Yakima, Bob says, they all shook hands and agreed to rendezvous in California in a few weeks' time. They met up in Bluff Creek, home of the infamous Wallace tracks and many Bigfoot sightings.
The next morning we got up and they made coffee and saddled up the horses, put the Bigfoot suit on the back of one of the horses. We went seemed like about a half a mile from where they were camped up into this place where they had picked out before I got there to film the Bigfoot film. We unloaded the suit, and of course they helped me in it. It was in October, and I figured there'd probably be hunters. Most people go to the mountains and have a gun, it was so hot inside that suit, and the sweat was just rolling off me, and I was nervous, and a little bit claustrophobic. Roger told me to go over at this certain place and stand there. I got out there and waited, and he gave me the signal. He was sitting on my horse that he took down there, and so he took the camera and kind of went like that. As you can see, the film is shaky. I started walking out across there, and I walked, I don't know how many yards it was, and I turned, the old Bigfoot look and looked at him and went on. All this time, waiting for a bullet to crack through my butt. That was the end of it.
Good job.
I thought I'd done a pretty good job. Millions of people have been fooled all these years. If they would have paid me the $1,000 like they promised, I would have kept my mouth shut.
What it boils down to is, was Roger Patterson incredibly lucky or a hoaxer of extraordinary gifts? And in the end, experts on both sides of the equation agree. You certainly can't prove Bigfoot's existence.
But did Roger Patterson really prove the existence of Bigfoot? Or did he, with the help of these men, engineer one of the most imaginative hoaxes in American history?
Isn't it a little odd that this dude who wanted to go capture a photograph of Bigfoot, a mythical creature which most likely doesn't even exist, nails it on his first time out?
Author Greg Long also thinks it's human, but not in the same way. Long asserts in his 2004 book, The Making of Bigfoot, that the subject of Patterson's film is just a human being in a modified gorilla suit. Long even tracked down the men who claim to have made and worn the suit.
My name is Bob, or Robert Hieronymus. I was the man that was in the Bigfoot suit in 1967. Roger came up with this scheme, and he needed somebody that was probably pretty big and stout. He needed somebody that he could trust, and he come and asked me if I would do it for $1,000, and never tell anybody.
Hieronymus says in October of 1967, he was instructed to meet Patterson and Gimlin at Bluff Creek.
We got up there, they helped me put the suit on. We kind of rehearsed it, stand right here. When I say go, you start walking across through this creek bed, and told me to turn and look at the camera as I at a certain place there. He showed me how he wanted me to walk, which people say I walk that way anyway. We took one take through there, and that was it. Philip Morris Costumes in North Carolina made the suit for Roger and sent it out there, and then Roger modified it the way he wanted.
When I sent the suit to Roger Patterson, he made numerous changes in it.
It wasn't long before Morris saw his suit again on TV.
He took this picture of Bigfoot walking right through the forest. As soon as I saw the suit, I recognized it immediately.
Whether you believe it or not, it's a cool mystery. And it's one of those perfect examples of never letting the facts get in the way of a good story.
Bob, you came on Lie Detector today to tell the whole nation that you are the real Bigfoot. We asked you the following relevant question. Was that you in a Bigfoot costume portrayed in the 1967 Patterson film? To which you answered yes. Bob, the lie detector has determined that you are... Bob, you're telling the truth.
Well, I always knew it was the truth. Everybody that I'm associated with, I've been around, knew it was the truth. I'm glad it's over. I had the best guy in the country give me this test. Now, I can prove to the world that I was in the Patterson Bigfoot film.
Bob, you've been upset mostly because back in 1967, the Pattersons promised you $1,000 for wearing that gorilla suit, and you were never paid for it.
I was never paid.
Does that still upset you to this day?
Oh yes. That's why I'm doing all this, to prove I was the man in the suit, and I never got paid.
What kind of impact do you think this is going to have on the Pattersons when this comes out that this was all a fraud, that you are actually the man in the gorilla suit?
Well, it'll tell them, it'll show them that the buck stops here. I mean, this is the end of it.
If we come out together and prove that that piece of film is nothing, I mean, it's fraudulent, then they can't continue to make money on this. Is that what I hear you saying?
That's the problem right there. The buck will stop there. They don't want that. They've been paid for years and years and years. Every time that film has been shown.
Well, they told us we couldn't have it unless we paid $10,000. And then they told us even if we paid the $10,000, we couldn't have it because we're talking to you.
That's right. They're afraid of me.
So what do you say to them today?
Well, the truth's out. They've known it. The whole family's been, has known it for years.
Do you think they're going to forget Bigfoot now?
No. They won't be forgotten for a while.
The truth lives, and Bigfoot's myth does too.
It'll still be around. Thank God it's over with.
Yes, you're vindicated. You've proved it today.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Thanks to the lie detector, another myth just bit the dust. And we want to thank Bob for finally putting that story to rest.